Here's a 100 lira coin from the Vatican City, dated 1975. This was a one-year circulating commemorative. In the design here, we see a couple of pairs of hands casting their nets to pick up a lot of fish. That is based on a biblical story where Jesus called the men in the boats to cast down their nets. They hadn't caught anything all night. Then when they did it after he told them to, they caught so many nets, or so many fish, that the nets broke. So that's what's being depicted on this Vatican City 100 lira coin. On this side, we have the coat of arms for Pope Paul VI, has his initials for his title, Pontius Maximus, PM. And then in Roman numerals, it has the date, 1975. This coin is catalog KM 130, and the book's for $2. Today's video is going to be made of the coins that are in this tube. Most foreign coin dealers that I go to, when we pick a lot of coins out of their bin, they have little bags that you can put them in. These people are out of bags, but they're also selling used coin tubes. They just said, oh, take an old coin tube. And so I ended up getting 21 coins. They gave me one for free. It was 4 per dollar. This is $5 worth of coins that Vatican City was in here. But let's go ahead and pour all of these others onto the table, and we'll move on. Here, let's spread them out a little bit so we can see what's coming up. We're going to move to this coin from British-controlled Ceylon. This is going to be a 1 cent from 1928. This was a coin I did not have, although it looks fairly similar to the 1 cent coins before and after this one. We've got the tree on this side. George V, King and Emperor of India. Catalog KM 107. I had this next coin because they made it for so long. It's really easy to come up with, but some of these older Switzerland coins can have a pretty good book value. This one's going to be a 20 Rappen coin from 1908. And you can still see where it has the word Liberty written on the top of the head there. We flip it over, and it turns out there's that one green spot that might kill the value on it. I would still say, even in this condition, probably it's worth about $1. If the spot was not there, I would say it's worth $5. And if you found this in uncirculated MS60, this would have a book value of $30 on this coin. So yeah, I always look to pick up these old Swiss coins, even though the design didn't change for well over a century. KM 29. Next, we have a coin from Belgium that actually has a lot going on it. So this one is going to be a 5 franc coin from 1938. This design features 3 different shields on the back. So we have the shields, or the coat of arms, of Brabant, Antwerp, and Liege. This coin from 1938 is a 5 franc. The catalog number is KM 116.1. There are a lot of different versions of this coin that I want to point out. Most Belgium coins have 2 different versions, one for the French legend, one for the Dutch. This coin has both spellings of their country on here, but they call this the French version since they list the French Belgique first and then say Belgie on the right. But the other version, makes it 116. The 117 version of this coin has Belgie on the left and Belgique on the right. So that's the first different thing to look for. Next up, there is some edge lettering on here. There are 2 different versions of the edge lettering. So we're going to take the denomination, 5 franc, and then look at it, and the letters on the edge are upside down. That makes this called position B. If it had been the other way around, it would have been position A. So again, we have Belgium. And then Belgique. The B and E are kind of tough to see here, but Belgique. Then we have a crown right here. So I went ahead and said that there's a position A, position B. This is position B. The B version is a little bit rarer, but it does not get its own catalog number from that they just mark it in the Cruz catalog as position A or position B. But we'd have a crown right here. So that the crown makes this version 116.1. There's also a 0.2 version where instead of a crown it would have a star right here, and that also comes in both a position A and a position B. And then there's also a version 0.3 where there is no lettering or symbols at all on the edge. That was an error, that was a mistake. They didn't mean to do it, but there's enough of them out there that it gets its own catalog number. So this coin, just in this condition, is worth $2. If I found the French version with the position B of edge lettering, that would have an uncirculated MS-60 version book value of $9. But if I found it in this condition with the no edge lettering, that would be worth $40. And if I found it in this condition with the star instead of the crown on the side, this would have a value of $600. That's how rare it is. So, a lot to talk about with that one coin from Belgium. So this next coin I'm going to show is the second time I've ever found this coin. The first time I found it was about a year ago. I filmed this video and I probably have not even uploaded it yet. I thought I had the coin. I just saw it all the time because it was on the cover of my 1998 Cruz catalog. And it's going to be that coin right there. But we also have it right here. So it's a shame that this one, like the Swiss coin, has a spot on it. This coin dates back to 1966. This is going to be the first, commemorate the first coinage of 1813. So it was really a sesquicentennial coin that went on continued. They made it for about 5 or 6 years. It's going to be a 25 pesos, catalog KM61. You flip the coin over and it's like you see the other side of that original coin. So even back then they had the sun with the face on it and then the sun rays coming off of it. 25 pesos. This coin is also not completely round. It does have kind of rounded edges, but it's really a 12-sided coin. And you look here, and so there's kind of an ugly metal on here. This one's going to be nickel-clad steel. So most of the coin is steel in the middle, but nickel-plated, nickel-clad with it on here. So only the second time I've ever found it. The first one was in better shape, so... But I always like finding this one since it's on my catalog and I didn't have it until just that earlier this year. We're going to move on to a coin from Cuba. This one's going to be a 2 centavos, dos centavos from the Republic of Cuba. Back when their motto was Patria y Libertad. Dated 1916, has the metal weight in grams and the 250M, 3.5 grams. Even though this is base metal, it's not precious metal. They only made this from 1915 to 1916, and then they didn't make it again until 1983. This coin's made out of copper nickel, but when they did bring it back in '83, it was aluminum. And they also got rid of the metal weight on it by that point. But if you found this one uncirculated MS-60, it would have a book value of $27.50. Catalog number, and this one's KM10. Got another coin from Belgium. This one's going to be a 25 centimes. There are two varieties of this one, the French version and the Dutch version. But I do want to point out there is a variation that you can find. There are two dashes underneath the abbreviation for centimes on here. There's a rarer version that was only made a couple of years that had a single dash right there. This one is dated 1913. This is the Dutch legend on here. Catalog KM69. This coin books for $1. And if you found it uncirculated, it would book for $12. As we continue looking at older coins that are hard to find in good shape, we have this older coin from Luxembourg. This one looks like it was in the mud for a while. But this is from Luxembourg from 1901. It features Grand Duke Adolf. This is a copper nickel coin. It's also going to be a 10 centimes. Catalog KM25, copper nickel. If you found this one uncirculated, it would book for $14. So I did find silver in this lot. It's funny that when I was at the show, I went to this dealer because there was someone I wanted to see. There was a long line, so I walked around a little bit longer, came across this booth, didn't look for about 2 minutes, didn't think I'd find anything, so I gave up. But after I saw my favorite dealers, I went back and looked, and I found some good stuff. And if you can find silver in a 25-cent bin, I'm going to take it every time. Now, this one is all beaten up. So this one's only worth the silver value, but this is an Australian 3 pence featuring George V on it, 6th, I should say. It is sterling, 925. 1942 D Denver, mint mark on it, catalog KM37. Silver weight of 0.0419, so I'm going to give that a silver melt value of $1.20. Next, we're going to go to a coin from Peru. Central Bank Reserve of Peru, 100 soles de oro from 1980. And we flip this one over, it has a really detailed look of the Peruvian coat of arms. So I like the look of here. But as I was looking at the category, I noticed that the 100 soles was a gold coin up until 1970. Not just any gold coin, but it was over-announced as a 1.3 ounce of gold for the 100 soles. Now, I don't know if people were actually spending that back in the day, but all the way to 1970, and this is just 10 years later, they had a silver version for 1 year, I think it was about 1973, but in 1980 they made this coin out of copper nickel, so it kind of shows how the currency was going there in Peru. They made it like this for a couple of years, and then in 1984 they reduced the size of it and made it out of brass. So this coin is catalog KM 283. This next coin's from Mexico, and I often talk about I will pick up a coin if I think I can get foreign exchange value for it. But I don't know really how I'm going to ever get my foreign exchange value out of coins from Japan or Britain. But when it's from Mexico, I suppose it's possible. This is going to be a 10 pesos. It's still a coin that is made until today. This one is dated 2002. A 10 pesos coin is in foreign exchange value about worth 50 United States cents. One thing I always need to point out on this coin, if you find the version that has the letter N before the dollar or peso sign right here, that meant that it was made in the first 3 or 4 years that they had this currency revaluation, and the middle part of the bimetallic coin was made out of sterling silver, which means it's actually worth a pretty good amount of money. Now this one has a book value of $2.50, so I always pick it up every time I see it, but because it looks really nice. But this is going to be some Aztec symbolism. It's called the Sunstone. In the middle of it, we have Tonadia wearing his fire mask. Let's see if we can get some pretty good detail on that. Going to be catalog KM 591. While we're talking about Mexico, I found some more silver. And so I'm going to always pick this up every time I can find it as well. It's a 25 centavos from 1952. On this side, it has some scales. So they like to, the Latin American coins really like to put the silver weight and purity on their coins. They don't list it here, but the scales, I think, kind of imply that there is silver here. And although it doesn't say it anywhere on here, this one's going to be a 30% silver coin. So that's not that great, but since it's a larger coin, that still comes to 0.0321 ounces, so that's still worth about 90 cents at $30 an ounce. So I'll pick that up in a quarter bin every time I find it, and I just silver stack all these coins. But that wasn't the last silver coin that I found, because we've also got this Canadian dime with the George VI on it. Now, by this point, they were no longer sterling. They were at 80%, but it made the math really easy to work with. It was 0.0600, so that you can do that in your head at $30 an ounce. Well, some people can do that in their head. I'm a math guy, so I can come up, that's $1.80 in melt value on that. So it's made in 1950. It's got the blue nose boat on it. This coin is KM43. It was only made from 1948 to 1952. On the portrait side, they removed any references to India for these last few years of the reign of George VI. But that wasn't the last silver coin I found. Now there's one more. Still have the boat design from 1963, another 10 cents. This one has some weird toning on it, but by now we have the first portrait of Queen Elizabeth on here. This one's catalog number KM81, still 80%, still a silver value, or silver weight of 0.0600 to get another $1.80 of silver at $30 an ounce. This one was made from her first year of 1953 until 1964, when they changed to a new portrait the year after that. So we had 4 silver coins in here that's worth more than what I paid for the whole lot. I paid $5 for all of these coins, and those 4 silver coins are $5 all by themselves. Next, we'll move to a coin from Czechoslovakia. Dated 1925. So Czechoslovakia was formed pretty much as a result of World War I. So this coin specifically started being made in 1923. It's catalog KM6. It's going to be a 5 Haleru. This coin was made all the way to 1938, and like several other of the low denomination coins, it features the Charles Bridge in Praha. Next, we're going to have a French territory, and pretty much all of the French territories had coins that looked like this in 1948. Unfortunately, this side is very well worn, very bad shape, but this is the design of the face looking left of the wings coming off the ears. You have to flip it over to find out where it's actually from. This one is labeled as Afrique Occidentale Française, and so this is going to be in your catalog as French West Africa. It is a 2 francs coin, so 2F period. This was minted in Paris, although there's not a mint mark on it. It's a catalog number KM4. I didn't have this coin, but in this kind of low grade, it only books for 20 cents, but I'd pay that all day long for a coin that I didn't have in my collection. So French West Africa is one would include the countries today of Mauritania, Senegal, Dahomey, French Sudan, Côte d'Ivoire, Upper Volta, Niger, French Guinea, and portions of Togo. So all of those at the time were a collective of coins run by the French that had a common currency. We're now going to move to a World War II coin that is made out of iron. And so pretty much any time I find a coin made out of iron from World War II, it has since rusted. This one has rusted far less than almost any other that I've found, and so this one's certainly going to be an upgrade in my collection. So this is a 1 ore coin from 1942 from German-occupied Norway. And it was, up until this point, up until German-occupied Norway, their coins had the Hakon the 7th monogram on it, and then after World War II, they resumed with the Hakon 7th monogram. But during World War II, he was in exile, so they replaced his monogram just with this shield and the Norwegian lion there with the axe. Catalog number KM387. I found another coin that I'd never seen before, and in fact I found 2 of them, so I have both of them shown right here. This is from Paraguay, and I didn't remember that Paraguay ever used the peso, but both of them are dated 1938. This was a 1-year coin. Catalog number KM16. So even though they only made this coin 1 year, it's made out of aluminum, but they made it a very similar coin out of copper nickel in 1925. There's some subtle differences to it, but it was about the same. And then this was used until 1944 when Paraguay changed to the Guarani system. So glad to have this coin added in my collection. I have a bonus coin after this last one for this video, but for a Chinese cash coin, this one is in pretty good shape, which always then makes me wonder if it's a legit real coin or if it's something that was cheaply made later. But usually I don't find these Chinese cash coins in this good shape. You have to remember that it's over 100 years old, so you're usually going to find them well worn. But in particular, this one here is part of the Qing Dynasty. And to read cash coins, you look at the symbol at the top and the symbol at the bottom, and that gives you an idea of who the emperor is. In the Chinese coin catalog, in the David Hartle catalog, and so this is going to be Emperor Dezong, who reigned from 1875 to 1908. And the symbol at the top is a guan. The symbol at the bottom is zhu. Bao at the left, Tong at the right. We flip it over, and this coin was a regional coin. This was minted for the Guangzhou region of China and was made from 1890 to 1899. Even from there are a couple of different versions based on the weight, and I don't have a way of measuring it, but if it weighed a little bit more, it's older, and if it weighed a little bit less, it's newer. But I'm good just knowing which decades it's from. But in the Hartle catalog, this is catalog H22.1335. So when they said they'd give me a free case to put it in, maybe I should have picked something that wasn't cracked, but it was free. I didn't want to, I didn't even notice it was cracked. I just picked the first one out of the bin I could find, but I didn't want to abuse their generosity on here. But I like to add up the book value of all the coins that I bought here. I did pay $5 for all of these coins. Like I said, there was over $5 just in silver value, but if you want to add up the entire book value of everything that we looked at, it's a total of $19.45. So I'm very happy with this purchase, especially when I got another 5 coins, which were new to my collection. I did mention that there is one bonus coin coming up here, and this is for the benefit of all my viewers that are outside of the United States. The Americans are currently, we're running a series of quarters that focus on prominent females. So we've got this newer design of Washington on the front. This was a 2024 modern design of the Washington portrait. But this series is going to finish up in 2025, and I don't think they've announced what they're going to do next, but we feature Celia Cruz here. Azúcar. And so I just got this in my pocket change, but I know a lot of these most recent coins, if you're outside of the United States, you've probably never seen it, so I always like to show some of these off. She's holding a microphone, so I guess that makes her a singer. Almost all of the people that have been put on these quarters I have not been familiar with. I think they're picking one person from every state, but at least I think that's how they're doing it. All right, so I've got more videos that I'll make from the coins that I picked up in this show, other shows, and my favorite coin shop, and on eBay. So I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.